We've now raised about 70% of our support, which I think at this current moment is about $4,455 or something like that as of this morning. And we still have just a little under $2,000 to raise per month that has to keep coming in, or a recurring gift that has to keep coming into our account. It's basically able to sustain us once we get there. So we have pretty much everything. Right now we pretty much have everything for the one-time support, 100% of that, like our visas, our plane tickets, everything that hits our account once. But now we're trying to raise the money to sustain us once we're there for the whole 4-year term. Yeah, we just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who has already joined our support team, who prays for us continually. We want to say a huge thank you to the church. They support us in a huge way.
One song that I really like through this whole journey is called While I'm Waiting by John Waller, and I heard it on the radio a couple months ago, and it just talks about serving while you're waiting, and no matter what you're waiting on, like we're waiting to go to Ukraine, there's always things that you can be involved in, ways that you can be worshiping and serving God, and so I've really latched onto that song, and it's kind of become personal this summer while we've been waiting.
We often think once we get to Ukraine we're going to serve the Lord, but really that song kind of grabbed our hearts and said, while we're here we're serving the Lord now, and what we're doing now is going to prepare us for that, but not to think that, once we get to Ukraine that's when God will use us. God's using us now, and it's always good to be reminded of that. The people of Kiev, Ukraine are a very needy bunch. We'll be us dealing more with the youth and young people, young adults, coming from families of brokenness, like drug abuse, alcohol abuse is a very big thing in Ukraine. Guys that are not faithful to their wives, or sleeping around, or things of that sort. And a lot of AIDS now is becoming a big issue, and just things along these lines. There's a lot of orphanages in Kiev, Ukraine. And we'll be dealing a lot with that within the youth that deal with a lot of those things. They go home to families that they don't see their dad, or they don't see their mom much, or like we work now with youth very similar to that in Huntington. We've been volunteering there I've been volunteering for 4 years there, Cassie for a couple of years now, and we had dinner with our Ukraine director a while back, and just explained to him the kind of the youth that we deal with, and broken families, a lot of drug and alcohol abuse, this whole thing. And he said, he looked across the table at us and just said that is the best training you could ever get to come to Ukraine. That these are the exact same kids you're going to be dealing with. And we just looked at ourselves on the way home with tears in our eyes and said, wow, God really is preparing us. Even though we wanted to be in Ukraine right now, we really feel like, all right, God is using this time to really ready our hearts for what we're going to be getting into in Ukraine.